rescind the order or end up in court. We're tracking breaking news surrounding the legality of Governor Bevin's cuts to higher education.
It's very tough on our family.
Raleigh Sizemore's pretrial hearing gets pushed back again. We're talking to his victim, Officer Daniel Ellis's family, about their frustrations with this case. Her voice is going viral.
So thankful that everything is transpiring.
How this pharmacy technician can cure the blues with her music.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening. A big development today. Governor Bevin's budget cuts to higher education could end up in a courtroom. Yesterday, the governor ordered cuts of 4.5% for all public colleges and universities.
But this afternoon, the state's attorney general called those cuts illegal and demanded that the governor rescind the order. Our Victor Puente is live in Frankfort with the breaking details. And Victor, why does the attorney general say these cuts are illegal?
Well, Amber, the Attorney General said the only way the governor can cut the current budget is if there's a declared shortfall. Since there isn't one, he said that what Matt Bevin did was outside of his authority. Yesterday, Senate and House leaders said they had reached an impasse in budget talks because of a disagreement over cuts to higher education. Later that evening, Governor Matt Bevin announced he would be reducing funding to state colleges and universities by 4.5% for the remainder of the fiscal year. He said the money was needed to help pay down the state's pension debt, which is more than $30 billion. Before the session started this afternoon, Speaker of the House Greg Stumbo said he didn't know if that move was legal. Now the Attorney General has said it wasn't. Andy Beshear said his office is requesting that Bevin rescind those cuts. This morning, Bevin was asked about Stumbo's comments and said he was wrong. The Attorney General said that position sets a precedent that others could follow.
The governor's position would mean the General Assembly merely suggests how the governor might spend money if he so chooses. A budget passed by the General Assembly is a mandate, not a recommendation.
Specifically put language in that would have precluded my ability to do what he now says I don't have the ability to do. He knows that I have legal authority to do this. We know as well, and we are exercising the authority that we have.
Beshear said his office is giving Bevin 7 days to respond. He said if he doesn't, there could be litigation. Now, about 10 minutes ago, Bevin's director of communications told me they believe they are on firm legal ground. She said that threat from the Attorney General is premature. Live in Frankfort, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. Governor Bevin is also dealing with that budget discussion. If a new one isn't passed before July 1st, the government could go into a partial shutdown. Only one other surrounding state has cut funding to higher education in the last 2 years. A study by Illinois State University shows Kentucky has cut 1.5% to state university and colleges. West Virginia has cut 5%. All other surrounding states have increased higher education funding, led by Missouri at 8.5% and Ohio at 6.3%.
Family members say they're fed up. The man accused of shooting and killing a Richmond police officer was supposed to be in court today, but the hearing got pushed back again. And it's been 5 months since Raleigh Sizemore was arrested for Officer Daniel Ellis's death in Richmond. And Ellis's family believes that's more than enough time to prepare. Kristen Kennedy tells us why the hearing was delayed.
Raleigh Sizemore was supposed to be in court Friday for a pretrial hearing. Commonwealth's attorney David Smith says the judge granted the defense extra time to go through all the evidence.
It's been 5 months. They've had 5 months to prepare for this case, and there needs to be a trial date set pretty soon. Daniel deserves that. You know, our family definitely deserves that.
Sizemore is charged with killing Eric Ellis's brother, Officer Daniel Ellis. In November last year, investigators say Sizemore ambushed the officer, shot him, and killed him.
It's very tough on our family. I mean, we find out there's a court date. You know, we're kind of preparing mentally for it because we've already been through one in this, original status hearing. But you prepare for it in your mind, and then all of a sudden, like a day before, they tell you it's not going to happen.
Sizemore is now supposed to be back in court April 14th, but Eric Ellis worries that hearing won't happen either.
I feel in these types of cases, you would think that there'd be a lot of action. There'd be people, this is a police officer. There needs to be swifter justice here.
Ellis says a lot of his relatives live outside of Madison County. Planning the trip in can be draining. His hope is that the judge will not allow any more delays and will set a trial date soon. In Richmond, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Sizemore was out on parole during the time of Officer Ellis's death. Ellis's brother says he is working with the governor to try and change the policies of the state parole board.
A Kentucky freshman guard is officially setting his sights on the NBA.
This afternoon, Jamal Murray announced he is going to declare for the NBA draft. Rob Bromley joins us now with the latest on Murray's decision. Hi, Rob.
Jamal Murray moving on to the next level, and no one could deny that he is ready. He is rated a lottery pick in the mock drafts. Murray set the UK freshman scoring record at Kentucky, his 720 points, the sixth highest total by a freshman in SEC history. Murray is a Canadian, and there is a Canadian NBA team. Is he a fan of the Toronto Raptors?
I'm an every team fan. I just want to get there. I don't care who I go to. But yeah, obviously, Raptors, my hometown, not hometown, but close enough. The only Canadian team in the league, so it'll be a blessing to play there.
Draft Express has Murray as the number 6 pick to New Orleans. NBADraft.net has him going number 7 to Sacramento. The Toronto Raptors have the 8th pick in the draft. Sam Hember.
Rob, thank you. He will be missed for sure. So far, Murray is the only player to announce his intentions. Players have until May 25th to announce their intentions.
A judge will decide whether some evidence in a high-profile bourbon theft case will be thrown out. Lawyers for 2 people accused of being the ringleaders in the Pappy Van Winkle theft case were in court today. Police say an anonymous tip led them to the discovery of the alleged stolen bourbon barrels on Gilbert and Julie Kurtzinger's property. Earlier this week, attorney Whitley Lawson filed a motion to suppress this evidence. The State Journal reports that the motion applies to the evidence obtained through 2 search warrants that led detectives to the stolen bourbon. Lawson argues there was not enough probable cause of the initial search warrant.
I'm not going to go into specifics, but pretty much what we're saying is that we need to look into the search warrant and see that it passes the smell test, quite frankly. So we're asking the judge to look at it based on various arguments, which we'll address at the hearing.
Another court date has not yet been set. Attorneys are working on responding to the motions that were filed.
The search continues tonight for an inmate who walked away from Lexington's Blackburn Correctional Complex this week. Corrections leaders say 32-year-old Jason Arnold was reported missing Thursday night. He's serving a 10-year sentence for the theft, forgery, and evidence tampering convictions out of Madison County. Arnold would have been eligible for parole in August. Kentucky lawmakers have passed a bill to let some felons clear their records. The bill cleared the House today. It would give some nonviolent felons a second chance by letting them ask a court to erase their criminal records. It does not apply to violent felons or sex offenders. The bill passed the Senate earlier this week, and it will now go to Governor Bevin. He has said he plans on signing it into law.
Well, it looks like it should be an April Fool's joke. It's the start of April, yet we're tracking winter? What's going on here?
How can it be? We wish it was just a joke, but it is not. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has an early look at the forecast.
A lot of cold fronts on the way, guys, over that first week of April, and green thumbs are on high alert in the coming days for multiple mornings with temperatures dropping into the 20s. First one is on the way for Sunday morning. Let's soak up what we have on our Friday evening with readings into the 60s. More sun, Frankfort and Lexington than what you are seeing London and Jackson now. Southeastern Kentucky, some of those clouds may even produce a sprinkle this evening along the Kentucky-Virginia border counties. Colder air, though, is slowly bleeding in from the north and northwest. 58 right now, Covington, yet it is 66 into far southeastern Kentucky. Middlesboro and Prestonsburg checking in with the mid to upper 60s. Nothing on your Defender radar network. Throw the clouds into the mix, and we are indeed picking up on some cloud cover. Cold front number 1, or should I say number 2, first front last night, now off to our southeast. This next front has a chilly blast of air for tomorrow. And then by tomorrow evening at this time, see the front that is across the Dakotas? That is right on top of central Kentucky, with high winds out ahead of that may reach 40 miles an hour tomorrow. And that front also will usher in much colder air as we go into Sunday. Green thumb alert, big blasts of cold. Heading into the first week of April, guys, we will walk you through that week and show you which mornings have the best chance of a hard freeze across the area when I come back in less than 10 minutes.
Thank you, Chris. This is a wonderful story. The video already has millions of views. A Lexington pharmacy technician has a reputation for singing to her customers. But one day while she was rehearsing, someone caught her on camera. And it's that video that's gaining national attention. New at 6, our Michelle Chamberlain is talking to Callie Day about this viral video.
You come on up in the house, sweetie. What's the last name for you, Mama?
Callie Day is a pharmacy technician at Walmart in Lexington.
Okay, sweetie.
She's not your typical employee.
How you doing? How you doing?
In fact, Callie sings to a different tune than most.
That's right. Come on, let's get our dance on. Let's get our dance on.
Callie was even featured in a national online Walmart ad for her charisma and vocal abilities. But it's this Facebook video post that's making waves on the internet. This video is gaining Callie praise. It has more than 2.5 million views. It's even received shout-outs from celebrities such as American Idol alum Fantasia and well-known gospel singer Kim Burrell.
I was doing them quick runs like Callie Day. Y'all heard of Callie Day? Callie Day is the truth and a half. Woo!
I was asleep when I got all these pings. Everybody's like, Fantasia just did. I'm like, huh, what? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Callie was surprised her video went viral.
And so thankful that everything is transpiring.
Transpiring for a soon-to-be 50-year-old who is a doctoral candidate in vocal production at UK. Callie is currently fundraising to be able to finish production on her first album.
So what are your hopes for your career?
To sustain myself and be able to take care of my family and friends. Please.
Callie's favorite song, Hear My Prayer by Moses Hogan. It's the same song she was singing in her viral video.
You know, I've gotten plenty of emails, you know, telling me that song has blessed me so. They were thinking about committing suicide, and they were just saying, I just kept playing Hear My Prayer over and over. Hear my prayer.
She has a gift. Callie will be singing at Mimi's Soul Food on May 22nd. And you can find a link to her online fund on our website, WKYT.com, or our WKYT News app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play.